All right, today we're going to talk about a mindset shift that could, honestly, change everything about how you see your work. What if we stopped treating business like this grueling uphill battle and started treating it like a game? A game you can actually learn to play and even win. Let's dive in. So let me just ask you, straight up, do you really think business is tough? Like deep down in your gut? I mean, it's a super common feeling, right? But what if that one single belief is the main thing holding you back?
Okay, so first things first, we're going to completely take apart this idea, this myth, that business has to be some kind of punishing struggle. We're going to get to the bottom of what really makes it feel so incredibly hard.
And here's where we flip the script. The idea is that business itself, it's not the tough part. Not really. The real struggle, the real difficulty, that comes from refusing to learn. It's like trying to win a game you never bothered to study. Or, imagine going to war without a single day of training. That's what's tough.
And this comparison just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. An untrained soldier. They're not really a soldier, are they? They're a casualty waiting to happen. Well, it's the exact same thing for an entrepreneur. If you're untrained, you're not actually in business. You're gambling, just throwing things at the wall, hoping for a lucky break. But someone who's trained, they're ready for whatever comes their way.
Yeah, let's just let that sink in for a second. This is the whole point right here. If you haven't put in the time to really get the fundamentals, you're not making strategic moves. You're just rolling the dice. And we all know how that feels. It's stressful, it's inefficient, and let's be honest, it's a great way to lose.
So, okay, if that old mindset is broken, what do we replace it with? Well, that brings us to the absolute core of this whole idea. It's a simple, but, wow, a really profound shift in how you see things.
First, let's get this straight. Business is not a punishment. It is not some sentence you have to suffer through to make a living. And it's not supposed to be about constant suffering either. You know that feeling of pushing a giant rock uphill every single day? That's not business. That's a symptom of the wrong approach. And it is definitely not a curse. You're not doomed to fail. It's not some unchangeable fate. So what is it? It's a game. Simple as that. That is the reframe. It's a complex, challenging, but totally fascinating game. And like any game, it's got rules, it's got strategies, and it's got skills you can learn, practice, and completely master.
All right, so if we agree business is a game, then what's the very first thing you do? It's pretty obvious, right? You can't just wander onto the field and expect to win. You gotta learn the rules.
Seriously, think about it. Would you ever try to play football if you didn't even know what offsides was? Or sit down for a game of chess with zero strategy? Of course not. So why on earth would anyone jump into business and expect to win without understanding the absolute basics, things like cash flow, marketing, pricing, and what makes your customers tick? Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually become a student of this game? Well, that's what we're getting into next. Here's a super simple, totally actionable training plan you can literally start today and keep doing for your entire career. They call this cycle of growth, and it's brilliant. It starts with taking stuff in. You read, you think about it, you study it. But look, knowledge by itself is pretty useless. You have to do something with it. So you apply it, you see what happens, you improve based on the results, and then, and this is the most important part, you repeat the whole thing. It's not a one-and-done deal. It's a loop that never stops. Now, when you really commit to this cycle, something else starts to happen. It's not just about your business skills getting better. It actually changes you on the inside. It transforms your whole psychological state, how it feels to be an entrepreneur. The second you start to genuinely understand the game, something amazing happens. That fear, that constant nagging fear of what you don't know, it starts to disappear because you're replacing it with actual knowledge.
And that feeling of being completely overwhelmed and confused, that starts to fade too. Instead of just guessing and putting out fires all day, you start making choices based on principles you've actually learned. You start seeing the patterns.
And as all that confusion melts away, what's left? Clarity. The fog lifts. You can actually see the road ahead, and you know which levers to pull to get where you want to go.
And the result of all that? Real, genuine confidence. Not arrogance, not fake it till you make it stuff. I'm talking about the quiet, solid confidence that only comes from being competent. You know you can handle things because you've done the work. Suddenly, that battlefield, it starts to look a lot more like a playground.
All right, let's wrap this all up and make it super practical. This last part is about giving you a new script, new words to say to yourself.
We're going to replace those old, unhelpful thoughts with something way more powerful. It's literally about changing that voice inside your head.
Just look at the difference here. It's huge. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "Oh, business is so tough," I want you to stop and instead say this: I need to grow. I need to learn. I need to sharpen my skills. See what that does? It instantly pulls you out of being a victim and puts you in the driver's seat. You become an active student who's in control.
And really, if you remember one thing, let it be this. This is the ultimate takeaway. Business isn't tough. Ignorance is tough. The problem was never the game itself. The problem was showing up to play without knowing the rules. The real enemy isn't the competition. It's what you don't know.
So let's end on this thought. When you adopt this student's mindset, you're basically declaring the war is over. The struggle, it's done. From now on, it's just a game. And the only question that's left is, are you ready to play?